Tonight on Sevens Big League, North Adelaide opens its 35th finals campaign as the Roosters take on Glenelg in the 86-second semi-final. Have the Roosters learned from their mistakes of last year, or will it be the Tigers first through to this year's grand final? More than 24,000 fans turned up to await the answer as the minor premiers and the reigning premiers fought out a torrid affair in perfect football conditions. North Adelaide welcome back the dynamic Ant, while Ross Gibbs dropped out of the Tigers 21. With more details, here's Peter Marker.
Yes, thanks, Rick. And just before we get on to the game today, it was a great game, but some great news for one of our favourite sons, Hayden Bunton, over in Perth. Triumphant, he has taken his side, Subiaco, to win the flag over East Fremantle, 19-16 to 8-13, a massive 69-point victory to Subiaco. A fantastic victory for Hayden Bunton. And in fact, the first time he's taken a side top since 1963, when Swan District went top over there in Perth. So well done, Hayden Bunton, a fantastic victory to Subiaco. Well, the game today was an unusual one. It really opened in strange circumstances because North, in the first quarter and a half, virtually did everything that a losing side would do. It missed easy chances for goal. It had no coordination. There was very little method in anything it did. Glenelg didn't play that well, but it led by 16 points at quarter time, and at half time, rather incredibly, North Adelaide had got back to within 2 points, with Poyton starting to get on top there at half forward. The last 10 minutes of that second quarter, North improved its game, lifted its momentum, and just got back into it. The second half, let's see how it pans out. We pick it up 6 minutes into the third quarter.
Knockout semi-final. The loser plays the winner of the Port Woodville clash tomorrow, Darren Jarman. Campbell, a long kick up towards the half-forward line. Parsons there again, great grab. Slips it quickly over Poyton, got on the left leg, shoots for goal, he's got it. Third goal, Poyton, brilliantly done, Parsons. North Adelaide fight back 7-7 to 8-4. Top action on Sevens Big League.
There's no doubt that North Adelaide is playing better, but that was all set up by a brilliant movement by Darren Jarman. It was very slick. It was that quick, in fact. I almost missed it. It came out, and it was Big Parsons who used the body well, took the fine mark, and with his 7th handball there, he got it out to Poyton. And he's the Roosters' major goal scorer. He's booted 3 from 8 kicks, and so the Roosters 3 points behind.
A real game on our hands now, 7 minutes into the third quarter. Carey against Redden in the middle. Carey wins it. Andrew Jarman attempts to burn it off the ground, goes back after it. The kick is forward. Oh, McFarlane out in front of Antibus, judged it well. Cruz gets it over the top to Simons. Chance for the base to build as Simons' long handball finds Marshall, but he's under trouble. A quick flick over the top finds Tony Hall. All finally they've lost it, and it's Darren Jarman, the man. He's been the star for North Adelaide. Back into the fence on this occasion and robs the Bays of the ball. Jarman, who worked tirelessly in the first half. He's had 10 kicks, Darren Jarman, and 6 handballs. Really has been the star of their side. Hodgman comes out with it. Now Darryl Hart. A high kick. Clomp in front, Carey at the back. Darren Jarman put one arm at it, couldn't get it. Well, McDermott struggling hard at the bottom, and umpire Hilton into bounce.
Thought Clomp might have been a little unlucky then not to get a push in the back. Umpire Hilton didn't see it that way. A bounce on the attacking corner of the square with the Bays in attack. Redden gets the tap down now to Hart. Hart slips out. All the handball is not a good one. Simons read it and boots it back to his half-forward line. Copping. Marshall ought to be a goal. Here's a goal. Beautifully done. Mistake by North Adelaide. Loose handball. Marshall made them pay with his second, and the Bays are now 9-4. North Adelaide 7-7.
Well, Hart had the chance to clear, but he held onto the ball for too long. Then he had nowhere to go, and of course the handball went astray. Simons got it, then Marshall, and it was pretty simple from there on for Marshall to boot his second goal. So Glenelg capitalising on North Adelaide errors, lead at this stage by 9 points.
9 minutes into the quarter. Carey with the left hand. It hit Comp on the knee. Sanders mishandled. Kidney tries to barge his way through. Sanders. Andrew Jarman in front. Salisbury the big fist clear. Chance on the ground for Kim Clomp. Parsons he's fined. That's a good pass. Well put by Klomp on the left foot. Parsons, who was instrumental in that previous goal when he took a fine mark and laid it off to Poyton. Now goes long. Dietrich, Bennett. Not the mark, almost to Bennett, but not paid. Umpire Graham Hilton into bounce. So North, who looked pretty bad in the major part of the first half, certainly that last 10 minutes or so looked a lot better. And they're back within 9 points at the moment as Garton runs it clear, wobbles one towards Maynard. Klomp did well. Maynard had his name on it. Klomp late put it out of play.
Throw in on the half-forward left flank. 9-4 to 7-7. Carey in front. 10 minutes gone. Big thump by Carey. The Ant with a chance. Sweating all the way. Maynard. The Ant still working hard for the foot. He's got nowhere to go. He's still got the football. And finally, he's quite happy to see the ball go out of play. Gee, there's no questioning his endeavour. He takes plenty. Inclined to like to give it out a bit too. Throw in. Almost up to centre wing. Carey, aerial ping-pong. Bennett couldn't. Marshall likewise. Carey's got the footy again. Can't get it out. And umpire Graham Hilton will come into bounce.
9-4 Glenelg. North Adelaide 7-7. Don't know that Peter Carey wants to give that ball back. He just got a message from the bench. But umpire Graham Hilton wasn't too upset. A bit of a push by Carey there. Not seen. Antrobus played for the free kick, which in fact wasn't there. So there'll be another bounce. North Adelaide's kicking in the first quarter was something really to be disbelieved. It was quite extraordinary. They just couldn't find the goals. Klomp got a handball out that didn't work. And umpire Hilton will bounce it again. Not a great deal happening out there, David, at the moment.
No, the game has been relatively incident-free, save for that heavy knock that David Kernahan took. Fair knock it was. Both committed, Tiller and Kernahan, and fortunately Kernahan suffered. Here's a chance for the Bays. Down the string to Maynard. Swings onto the left foot. Long towards Seebohm. Copping's long arms went up but couldn't control it. Hodgman on the ground. Tiller to compete. Chance for Henwood. Klomp threw himself in vigorously. Did well to stop that as the Bays could have got clear with a tap on from Henwood. So a bounce at half forward, 9 points in it. Approaching 12 minutes into the quarter. Henwood thumps it forward. Antrobus a long chase. Well, he gets a nice bounce, so he's got no one to kick it to. Finally, it's Bennett that is on a lead, and he's got it out in front of Max Cruz. Bennett's third mark for the afternoon. Keeps it close to the line, converging on it. Parsons, winning Garton. Plucking it out of the air with Simons. Turns delightfully out of trouble, then bangs it back towards half forward. At the back, Maynard. Seebohm off. Maynard bouncing it clear. Oh, he's messed it up. Thesby in trouble. Brilliant tackle. But the ball is held to him, says umpire John Hilton. There'll be a bounce at centre half forward.
He got plenty of help from the crowd, umpire Hilton there. They all yelled holding the ball in one, but the ball was obviously held to him. Redden got the tap away. Kidney tried to break through. John Riley in the way. In comes Tony Hall, nowhere to go. Well tackled. The ball farmed out there by Sanders, or was it Clisby? Back now onto the half-forward line. Or half-back line. It is Tiller to Bennett. Bennett's kick is not well directed, and Garton takes the easy chest mark. A 15-metre penalty. Kick number 9. Garton goes to the half-forward line. Klomp having a fine game. Ball Campbell didn't work hard for that ball, and the umpire will come in and ball it up between wing and centre.
He finds it very hard to change direction out there, Matt Campbell, unfortunately. His ankle is just not holding up too well. It was McDermott to Hodgman. There he is again in the open space. Maynard was pushed off the ball end. Stringer, well, that's holding the ball. No, holding the man. Quite sure that that's how the rule reads, actually. But in any event, it is Stringer with his 12th kick. Arnold from behind comes across, can't mark the ball, but he played it well. Sanders now had the handball to Tiller, but didn't want to use it. 3 Glenelg players to 1 North Adelaide. Klomp tried a handball through the pack, which was fairly optimistic. No chance of that ball getting through those bodies. Redden and Henwood down to Tiller. Tiller's long kick away, sees Parsons come in. Well, we went straight through. Andrew Jarman to Parsons. The big chap lopes away. He dropped the ball, but he's got a bit of time. And he handballed into Max Cruz. So North Adelaide continuing to make errors. They just can't seem to get a flow on.
Trailing by 9 points. 14.5 minutes into the third quarter. Parsons. Hodgman took it. It was smothered. Cruz taps it on. Gives Maynard the opportunity. It's going to be close to the line as Redden cuts across. And it's out of play. Grandstand side. Brilliant conditions. It hasn't been the best game of footy that we've seen. It's 15 minutes in the quarter. It's pretty tight, however. Just 9 points the difference. Redden and Carey. Darren Jarman. A long handball searching for Sanders. Ball shows it. Clean pair of heels to Maynard. Goes along towards half-forward. Hart. Well judged. He's got it in front of McFarlane. McFarlane on for Stringer. Off goes Dietrich. The pass, not bad. Dietrich up, couldn't control it. McFarlane across. Hart pushes him off it. Turns out of trouble. The handball's intended for Dietrich. They're conceding ground. Andrew Jarman. Campbell is loose. He can just about go all the way. The kick is to the square. Poyton in front. Hart couldn't. Cruz. Oh, he's lost it to Hart. Hart from 20 metres goes to goal. Oh, bad mistake in defence. They're paid dearly for it. Hart Bucci second. And North are now back within 3 points. 8-7 to the Bays. 9-4. You're watching it on 7's Big League.
Yes, Max Cruz seemed to have control of that ball as he was paddling it across goal, heading for the open spaces, and all of a sudden he lost his legs. He went to ground and Hart got the beautiful sit. Kick number 15, he headed for home, booted his second goal. He's had a fine game of football in brilliant form, his Hart, and North Adelaide now back to within 3 points of the Bays. 8-7 plays 9-4.
Yes, 58-55, the Bays leading. Carey and Ruck, he's been there all day. Tireless worker. Clisby gets the kick away. Maynard's under the ball. He's right under the drop of it. Can't mark it. Poyton comes out with the run of it. He's flanked out there by Sanders, who dropped it. Poyton back on it. Well, that's a free kick. Yes, Kidney's attack wasn't positive. It was fairly negative, in fact. 9 kicks, Poyton. He's been the most effective forward for North Adelaide with 3 goals. A delightful kick. Grenville gave the impression that he was pushed then, but umpire John Hilton wasn't impressed at all. And Maynard watched it go over the line. Well, it would be a fairy tale, in fact, if North Adelaide hit the front sometime during this game, because the way they played, it wouldn't give them Buckley's hope. They're down by 3 points. Bennett went up. Donovan's handball slightly astray. There's that man again, Darren Jarman. But Duthie's way out in front of Grenville Dietrich and takes the easy mark.
Lays it off to McFarlane. Oops, he's changed tack somewhat. Fortunately, Cruz was clear. Wanted to get it to Hodgman. Sold the dummy pretty well as he puts it out wide. Maynard and Kidney going to compete. Oh, they missed it. That's the second time that's happened now. We saw Hall and McDermott do it on the outer side. And now Maynard and Kidney, and they've lost possession. Andrew Jarman has it. Loose at half forward as King Clomp. He can go all the way here, Clomp. The kick is an atrocious one, however. It's gone off the hands of Dietrich and out of bounds in the right forward pocket. They really haven't finished their work off today at all, North Adelaide. Early in their game, their kicking for goal was very, very bad. A number of great opportunities went begging. 18 minutes in, here's a chance for Hart. Snaps for goal, they're in front. Oh, who would have thought so? Halfway through the first quarter, they looked a very sick and sorry side. Hart Bucci's third. North Adelaide at the 18-minute mark hit the front. They're 9-7 to the Bays, 9-4.
What a brilliant layback then by Michael Parsons at the throw-in. He laid it back beautifully to Hart, who was waiting behind the pack. Kick number 16 was on the left leg, but it was true. He boots his third, and the Northerners hit the front. They lead by 3 points, 9-7 plays, 9-4, almost 19 minutes, second half.
Third quarter, in fact. Redden puts the ball out, but Cruz comes through, kicks it up to half forward. There he is, coughing. Took a good mark on his chest then. Seebohm's on a lead. That's where it goes. He's way out in front, and that's brilliantly done by Copping. So the Bays have got the big chance now to go back in front. 4 marks to Seebohm. Booted for. The most dominant forward on the ground, in fact. John Seebohm, and he's a straight shooter. The umpire just watched it sail over the top, so the Bays are back in front. 10-4 to North Adelaide.
one relief there from Henwood, but other than that, he's been on the ball all day. He gets the thump away again towards Sanders, going through Kidney, lost the footy. Now it's taken away by Tiller. Tiller's nowhere to go, well, the handball back's not all that good. Down goes Clisby, holding the ball. Not good football then by North Adelaide in defence. Scotty Salisbury to put the Tigers into attack. Off goes Copping, puts it in high. Seebohm, Arnold, Seebohm! The umpire said play on, he's back in there fighting for the ball. Stringer tried to get it out. Finally, Clisby gets it away. Darren Jarman, along to the half-forward line. Peter Bennett needs a set, can't quite get there. Donovan through. Bennett at the bottom of the pack. In goes Maynard. Parsons over the top. The umpire will come in and ball it up on the attacking corner of the square for North Adelaide.
Well, can North Adelaide get back in front? It's certainly been the best quarter of football so far, as Parsons and Carey do battle. Carey easily, Hodgman furthers it. Glenelg players leading in the race. Kidney gets there first. Hooks it back. Under the ball out there is Alan Stringer. He'll be paid. Stephen Riley didn't in fact touch it. Alan Stringer's 13th kick. He goes past Stephen Riley and puts it way up high. Seebohm a chance, can't quite mark the ball. Redden goes in, and so does Tony Hall. He kept that ball in incredibly. Back it comes now to Wildy. Andrew Jarman, put it along the ground. Now Arnold, Clisby, doubled beautifully Clisby then. He feinted that handball. Clomp's under it, so is Bennett. Couldn't mark it with the one hand. Staying back was Maynard. He puts it to centre half forward. No mark taken. Past Salisbury. In goes Campbell, and a free kick for a push in the back. Well, I know what he gave it for. For a push in the back. Against Campbell. Puts it in long. Another chance for the Bay forwards. A big pack of players. No mark taken. Off hands it comes. Clisby nowhere to go. Kidney gets around on that left boot. Shoots the handball out. Arnold had it. Then he lost it. Then he virtually threw it away. Sanders can't pick it up. McDermott can. Salisbury a chance. Won't kick a goal with a kick. Through goes Tiller. Now Clisby. Clisby kicks short when he perhaps should have gone a bit longer. It went over the top to Clomp. Clomp's going to break away for the Roosters. He puts a kick up towards centre wing. The kick died. It fooled Garton though. He went in pretty hard. The big chap's in a lot of trouble, and he gets a free kick for a high one.
Oh, it's hard pressure football now. North's really battled determinedly to get that one out of defence. The big fella's got it at centre wing. Sixth kick. Anchovis, Carey to compete against him. Taking it out of the air, Cruz. Searching handball, finds Maynard. Maynard from close to the boundary line, puts it towards half forward. Redden should mark, and does. Redden's up and okay. In trouble is Darryl Hart behind play. Caught one high by the look of it. Well, Redden's put it out of play. Cruz appeared to get into the back of Bennett, but a free kick is going to be paid for out of bounds on the full. 23 and a half minutes into the quarter, the difference is just 3 points. Glenelg in front. Cruz, 10th kick, drops a little short. Out in front, Stephen Riley. Good mark, he plays on quickly. Campbell, the running player is Darren Jarman. Poyton's on the end of it. Dietrich off. Poyton bouncing his way through half forward. Chips in short, it's too long for Dietrich. And Doothie takes a fine relieving mark.
They didn't give Grenville a chance then. Guard on. Maynard is short, but he's kicked out on the full, and down goes Parsons. Well, he's still with us. I think it's Michael Parsons. Yes, it is, on the half-forward left flank. Anxious trainers around him. Darryl Hart's up, but he doesn't look at all healthy. Clomp boots North Adelaide into attack again, up towards Big Carey. Gets the tap away. Poyton against Hodgman. Poyton did it well, got nowhere to go, and the umpire will come in and, he's going to say that's holding the ball. Snout McFarlane, the oldest man on the ground, he'll love me for saying that, gets a free kick at centre half back. He's coming out now to Donovan. Parsons is up. Donovan's got the ball on the half back line. Guard on. Kidney has done well since replacing the injured David Kernahan. Now Garden pushes out the pass. That's a better one. Well done, Maynard. Showed a lot of courage to keep his head up there. The umpire's paid the mark, and Maynard's got it half-forward right flank. Kick number 15. Off goes Seebohm. Gives him a chance. Orta screw punt, a high one right up towards Seebohm out in front. Hall at the back. Quickly in Copping as well. Copping conceding ground. He's going to need help from there. Can't find it. Arnold, Darren Jarman out wide is still the runner. Campbell can run 150 metres. Off he goes. He's in a straight line. Bennett breaks for him. Out goes the ball. Peter Bennett on the half-forward line. The big fella's coming in field now to Jarman. Set him up. Carey. But oh no, Jarman has got it. Held ground brilliantly long enough as Big Super came down, laid him to rest. But he's got the ball about 40 metres out in front of goal. Into time on of the third quarter. Glenelg by 3 points. Andrew Jarman now 40 metres out. Kick number 16 into the wind just slightly. The kick is going to be offline, and he just manages a point, and that reduces it to a 2-point ball game. 26 minutes into the third quarter. Glenelg 10-4, North Adelaide 9-8.
Duthie's the fullback, and Maynard's out on his own. He wants it, but Duthie's going to go the other way as Maynard is covered. Goes to the outer side of the ground, getting under the ball out there. Simons, that's a good mark. And he's moved into defence slightly from his centre wing position. Cruz wants it, so does Hodgman. Hodgman didn't half volley it. Poyton played that very well. Now Darren Jarman, he can kick very well. Grenville's a chance. Punching away though, they both went for it, Grenville, Dietrich and Parsons. If he was playing cricket, that would have been middle stump. Out goes Darren Jarman, searching for the ball. Gets boot to it, but it's just out. So the umpire will throw it in out there on right half forward flank. 2 points in it. North Adelaide have improved from the, well, about the 20-minute mark of that second quarter. Prior to that, they were in no man's land. Simons, Marshall. Marshall gets a quick kick away. Clisby now, finding it hard to pick it up, but he breaks away pretty well. Goes short to Parsons. He was in a bit of trouble a couple of minutes back. There's the handball. Can the centre half-back boot a goal? He sets it up and misses by plenty. Kicked it like a half-back. In fact, it hit the point post and it's out on the full.
It's been a very even quarter. They led by 2 points at half-time, the Bays, and there's still that margin in front. So she's been even Stevens right through the third term. Duthie certainly had the better of Dietrich. Redden in lane off Parsons. Good mark. He has played pretty well, Michael Parsons. That's his 6th grab. He's had 9 handballs. And this will be his 7th kick. Not a bad performance by the big fella. Too far out to score here. Dietrich a chance. Duthie's got the drop from behind. Andrew Jarman takes it beautifully off the pack. And at last he boots one. In fact, that's his 2nd. Northern hit the front again late in the third quarter. It's been a fine effort. Andrew Jarman 2nd. They're 10-8 now. The Bays are 10-4.
Another fine effort then by Michael Parsons. He put it in the air, and Duthie, as he's been doing all day, came over the top there of Grenville Dietrich. He went for the thump, but it was a North Adelaide run-on player and Andrew Jarman that was waiting under the veranda for the spoil. Into the open goal. He booted his 2nd, and North Adelaide hit the front. 10-8. Plays 10-4.
Still waiting for the ball to come back, and the game has certainly come to light. There's no doubt about that. North Adelaide have kicked 4 this quarter. The Bays 3. And it has been a good comeback. Comeback from oblivion, really. North Adelaide not looking like a football side in the first quarter and a half. We're right back in it now, though. Pretty close to three-quarter time. 29 minutes gone. Glenelg player pushed across the line there. That was Max Cruz, but he got back just in time. McDermott couldn't pick it up. Marshall, Simons, nowhere to go. Oh, thank you very much. That's called larceny. He gave that over there to Matthew Campbell. Off he goes. Bennett will be on the end of it. He's got a big open space. Parsons was on his own. Bennett goes long. The siren's gone. Big Grenville has a push in the back, but the siren beat everybody, in fact, including the ball. The umpire is going to signal full time, and there it is. Three-quarter time at headquarters. North Adelaide have charged back into the lead, 10-8 to the Bays, 10-4. final quarter, second semi-final. The winner goes straight into the grand final. North Adelaide leading by 4 points. Maybe going with a slight breeze. Darren Jarman just got it out. Antrobus is in trouble holding the ball. It's happened to him a couple of times today. They played on, but it will have to come back to Chris McDermott. He was the player that applied the tackle. Antrobus there has been very fiery, but he's played pretty well. And the important thing is that his shoulder, the injured shoulder, or the previously injured collarbone, has held up pretty well. Copping, oh, what happened then? He seemed to stop in his run in. The whistle hasn't gone. Arnold tries to get rid of it. The tackle was a good one from Copping. Here's a chance for Alan Stringer. Caught and appeared to drop the ball. Copping comes out with it, hooks it around the corner. Seebohm's got it. He's kicked 5 from 5 kicks. In fact, he's booted the first goal every quarter, so it might happen again. Peter Carey is lurking. He's on his own, but in fact, Copping went further afield. Salisbury it is. He's got plenty of distance with that one. He's pushed it out slightly to the right, and I think you could call that indirect. They got a point with it. The Bays are 10-5, North Adelaide 10-8.
Just 3 points in it as Paul Arnold has had his problems today with Seebohm. Prepares to bring it back into play. Jarman wants it out to the outer side. He's got Kidney to beat. It's a good kick from Arnold. Nobody else out there but the two of them, and Jarman's got clear. This will be his 18th kick. Going to go a long way yet before he needs to kick it, however. There's only been one kick, and they're at half forward. That's from full back. Dietrich up in the middle. Couldn't control it. On the ground, it's Cruz, I think, doing some work. He's played a free. No, he hasn't. It wasn't Cruz anyway. It was Henwood. Hornsey must be pretty concerned at the moment. He's seen a 16-point lead at quarter time slip away from them. Antrobus bangs in towards goal, but he's well offline. In fact, put it out of bounds on the full.
Yes, the Ants stood up pretty well, as Peter's told you. Certainly adds plenty of fire. Duthie. Nice looking kick to the half back line. Carey's there over the top, Red, and judged it supremely. On the half forward line, out goes Big Parsons, but he doesn't want that player. Kick number 4, Redden. Puts it in long. Dietrich in front. Duthie over the top. Grenville almost. Big Parsons trying to throw it out to Poyton. Comes to Cruz. Off the side of his boot, Simons has trouble, but then recovers well. Marshall. Maynard. Off the half back line. Out wider still. Oh, he doesn't want the other handball to Salisbury. Goes up for Seebohm. Quickly in now. Gardon with him there. Salisbury hooks in towards goal. Umpire goes galloping, and the Bays waste an opportunity through the boot of Scotty Salisbury. 1 point only. They edge closer to North Adelaide, 10-6 to 10-8.
Garton playing at centre-half forward, so Corns particularly keen to get him up there in this last quarter. He certainly is a match winner. Garton, great handball there from Campbell. Away goes Darren Jarman. We're at 3.5 minutes. He's running right through half forward. Now he changes direction. Carey can't catch him. Over to Antrobus. Here's a chance if he can steady. Antrobus lines up and he's put it through. Great football, Darren Jarman. Started by Matthew Campbell. The Ants got his first. North Adelaide go further ahead. 11-8 to the Bays, 10-6 on Sevens Big League.
The moment of truth now for the Bays. They're down by 8. Their biggest deficit for the afternoon. In fact, they led for most of the day. Going through strongly now. Salisbury down he goes in a heap. Needs support. McDermott is there. Out wider still Maynard. The running player Kidney. Stringer should get it. Net goal. Beautifully smothered there by Stephen Riley. Down goes Kidney. Oh, the umpire said hanging or holding the ball. Didn't have a big chance to get rid of it. But a great tackle nevertheless by Stephen Riley. Check side of centre wing, puts it up loose, checking the Bays. Redden has got it to put the Northerners into attack. He goes long to the lead of point. Oh, that's not a very good kick at all. Henwood makes a metre to get over there, and the ball goes off his fingers and out of play. North Adelaide starting to motor well now. 11-8 plays 10-6 into the 6th minute of the final quarter. Carey against Bennett. Carey's handball away is not effective. Down there went the Ant. Clomped through, couldn't get an effective kick away. Player stack up, and umpire Hilton will come into bounds.
11-8, 10-6. Glenelg now in just a spot of bother. It's the first time it's been behind in the match, and it will have to fight back. Sanders went over the top. Big Henwood smashed it towards the line. That's exactly where it's going. It beats Maynard, and there'll be a throw-in on centre wing. Well, Redden's been the player, of course, who had a bit of a rest in the first half. Now he's coming into his own. Big Parsons having done a fine job earlier. And Peter Carey's had to do it all alone for the Bays. Henwood's now at centre-half back. He found it hard to get that one out. Clock to Andrews was very well done. Andrews got through the pack. Away goes Sanders. He's got some pace. Onto the left boot. The ball dropping short. And off hands a point. So North Adelaide doing the attacking. 11-9 to the Bays, 10-6.
The Bays have somehow got to find something. They've made a heap of positional moves. Cruz to the back pocket, Henwood to centre-half back, and Garton to half-forward. And I would even think that Salisbury's either in the middle or on the ball at the moment. They need a lift now. 9 points the difference. McDermott bangs it back to the middle. Salisbury's got the drop on Jarman. Oh, but he took it beautifully. That's Andrew Jarman. Threads it off to Antrobus. Through centre-half forward he goes. The kick is offline, however, from Antrobus. And it's gone out of bounds on the full. So North Adelaide continue their bad kicking for goal. Their first quarter effort was horrendous, both in their football and their shooting for goal. But they've lifted from there, and it happened about the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. And since then, the ball game's been theirs. They lead by 9 points as Simons puts it towards centre wing. John Riley at the second attempt. Cruz the chance, taps it on. Salisbury a race for it, it's close to the line. Andrew Jarman with him. Well, Salisbury's kept it in play. Twang goes out of trouble delightfully. McDermott with the left foot goes towards Copping in the back. Yes, the free kick's been paid. The offender was Wildy, and Stephen Copping has it at half-forward left. Hodgman was loose. Darren Jarman gets down to cover that, although there's Garton, a chance. Clisby too far away from him. Oh, it's too long for Garton. It gives Clisby the opportunity to clear. Kidney cut across in front of him. Clisby takes it, appeared to get Copper High one, but they're out of trouble anyway. Sanders it is, bouncing his way clear.
Kicks long to the vacant half-forward line. Oh, the bounce is going to favour Henwood. Got a beautiful sit on it. Comes through centre wing, kicks in long. Setting himself there over the top is Riley, and he takes the easy chest mark. Judged it the best of the lot, obviously. Puts it out short. On the outer side, it's taken there by Sanders. Sanders half-back flank. North Adelaide playing now with composure. Kick number 12, Sanders. Goes to Bennett, half-forward line. Quickly in there is Poyton. Can't get it out. Bennett. Donovan, the tackler. Henwood back in defence, conceding ground. With him is Poyton. Did it well. Clomp left the footy behind. In goes McDermott. Players start to pile up, and the umpire will come in and bounce it on the half-forward line. 11-9, plays 10-6. North Adelaide by 9 points.
Players getting a touch tired out there, and as we approach 9-minute mark of this last quarter, the winner goes straight into the grand final. The loser plays the winner of tomorrow's first semi-final between Woodville and Port Adelaide. Salisbury working hard at ankle level, can't pick it up. Umpire Graham Hilton will bounce it. Left half forward flank for North Adelaide. The Roosters by 9 points. Positional changes. Garton to centre half forward, Henwood to centre half back, Cruz to the back pocket. Of course, Seebohm, who's done such a great job at full forward, is still there, as you would expect. And still not much happening out there as Andrew Jarman gets a kick away. The big chap Parsons couldn't mark it. Poyton gets the handball out. It's along the ground though. Hart can't pick it up. He appeared to cop one in the face in the third quarter, which really stung him. But he's still on the ground and still out there working hard. To throw in, left forward pocket. Parsons and Carey. Carey's done all the work for the Bays. Another pile-up of players, and there'll be a bounce down.
So at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter, it's 9 points the difference. North Adelaide in front. They've had 20 scoring shots to the Bays 16. And they've turned the 16-point deficit at quarter time into this 9-point lead. Carey takes it out of the air. It's back towards half forward. All cleverly done by Sanders. He's clear now, 65 metres out from goal. That's a mammoth kick. Oh, great ground covering kick, but he's just offline. Duthie got a hand on it. Through for a point. 11-10 then North, 10-6 the Bays, and we've gone past 10 minutes.
They seem to be in control, but football is a funny game. Well, the kicking is not a good one. It's going towards Salisbury. Riley never ever put his eyes on the ball at any stage. Salisbury smothered off the boot. Simons. Riley comes to meet him. Lost the footy. Players pile up. In goes McDermott. Out now towards Marshall. Out wide is Cruz. If he doesn't want him, puts it out longer. Now it's Stringer. Heads towards the open goal. 40 metres, 30 metres. Should score, does score. What a goal to the Bays into the breeze. The Bays fight back. Stringer's first. Glenelg 11-6. Trail North Adelaide 11-10.
Second semi-final. What a game we've got in our hands now. 4 points in it. Redden jumps into Carey. McDermott tried to fist it on and missed. Chance at the back for Sanders. Kim Klomp comes out with it, or Antrovus had it and lost it. Breathing down his neck was Robin Kidney. Umpire Jack Hilton into bounce. Appears as though it's going to be a tremendous climax to this game. Darren Jarman, the star, dishes it out to Klomp. Puts in a little short one. Campbell's in the space. And North Adelaide now the chance to go deep into attack. Dietrich wants it in long. Parsons drifting down into the pocket, or Grenville out in front. He's got it. Good mark by the big fella. That's his third mark for the afternoon. Been pretty well held by Duthie. He's only kicked one. And the chance now to boot his second, but on a very awkward angle.
It'd be amazing if he booted this, David, because all of his other shots have been relatively simple.
Yes, they have, particularly in that first quarter when he made a mess of about 3 or 4 of them. 7th kick. Will he try and increase the angle, run around a bit? A little bit of a hiccup. He's got him pretty close to Duthie. Stabs at it. It's flying. 1 point only. So Dietrich continues his bad shooting for goal, although that was an impossible. 11-11 then North. The Bays 11-6.
Yes, the big fellas kick 1-4, plus 1 out on the full. McFarlane. The lead of Simons. What a dreadful kick. Out before a player touched it. Free kick to Matthew Campbell. A very difficult kicking angle. But Campbell could most certainly make the distance. No doubt he'll look in field. He finds Andrew Jarman. He elects to play on. Dummies this way, that way. Gives it back to Campbell. Oh, he left it behind. In goes Salisbury. He's quite happy to go over the line. But the umpire said that he didn't make any attempt to get rid of the ball. And he's holding it. Well, action replay. This is where Campbell started before. He went in field to Jarman. This time he's got Peter Bennett if he wants him. He's 20 metres clear. He can't see him. He's going to shoot for the woodwork. Campbell's kick is going in high towards the square. Big Parsons there. Dietrich over the top. But off the fingers it goes through for a point. And North Adelaide 11-12 lead Glenelg 11-6. And Parsons momentarily down injured.
He's taken a few today, Parsons, but he's played very, very well. Duthie's the fullback. He'll aim for Simons, I thought, initially, but he's going out towards Marshall. Oh, good mark, Jarman. Oh, no, he was into the back of Marshall, according to umpire John Hilton, and there'll be 15 metres as well. So Marshall's free kick, Jarman having to come back. The Bays down by a goal. Carlaw getting ready to come on. Copping's way out in front of his opponent and takes a good mark. Matt Campbell coming off. Carlaw will replace him. Copping brings it back. Stringer comes in from behind. Can't quite take the mark. John Riley is at the bottom of the pack. Nowhere to go. Holding the ball they want, but they won't get it. There'll be a bounce down. Carlaw's gone straight to centre wing. The Glenelg runners onto the ground immediately. I'd say Scott Salisbury's on the ball. He's either on the ball or he's at centre because his opponent is Andrew Jarman. Wieldy to Tiller. That wasn't very productive, and there'll be another bounce.
6 points the difference. Gone past 15 minutes. The Bay runner out, giving instructions to Tony Simons. The bounce is at centre half forward for Glenelg. Darryl Hart. Towards the centre of the ground. It's all Bays back there. All Donovan left it behind. McDermott. Peter Bennett did well. Redden now. Man loose at half forward is Poyton. This could be dangerous. Poyton from centre half forward. He's got the distance, he's got the accuracy, and he's booted 4 goals. Great performance by the half forward flanker. Just what the Bays didn't want. North now have gone 12 points clear. They're 12-12. Glenelg 11-6. Great action on Seven's big lead.
Yes, well, it was Peter Bennett who's played well at centre half forward to get it started. He gave Redden a chance, and the big fellow didn't lose his cool. He pushed out the pass to Poyton. Loose checking by the Bay defence. He was 25 metres clear of his opponent, booted a magnificent goal. Kick number 11, and North Adelaide at 12-12 to 11-6.
16 minutes gone. Redden and Carey. Big Super's been there all day. He's worked tirelessly. Carlaw's into the fray now. Out of the fray pretty quickly too. There'll be another bounce. 24 scoring shots to 17, and yet North Adelaide leads by only 2 goals. Coaches Noonan and Corn. Simons smashes clear over the top. Oh, Sanders was grabbed high. Umpire John Hilton saw that. So Sanders, who's had a very good second half, will drive the Roosters in. 14th kick. A very direct player, Sanders. Goes up to half forward. Off hands Clont, he got the handball out, Poyton nowhere to go. Off hands it comes, Big Parsons has got nowhere to go either. Odgren wants a holding the ball decision, but that would be optimism. It's a 10.5 forward and Hilton will bounce it. What a fantastic game Carey's played. He's really worked very well. Out it comes to Simons. Left boots it up towards Tony Hall. John Riley, Tony Hall, too strong. Brilliant in the air. Oh, Stringer's on his own. No way known that Clisby's going to get back there. Redden over the top, Copping. He didn't mark it. The ball's underwieldy, and the whistle goes.
12 points of difference is about 17 minutes gone. About 13 minutes left in the football game as umpire Jack Hilton puts it down. Redden from behind. John Riley in for the Roosters. Oh, he's seen a free. It's going the way of Glenelg. I think it's Scott Salisbury that's going to take it, and Jack Hilton indicated it was for pushing the back. Salisbury's 17th kick. Oh, he's kicked into the man on the mark. John Riley gets it next. Stephen Riley caught high. He's looked a bit lethargic then, a bit lackadaisical, Stephen Riley, but the tackle from McDermott was too high. Lays it off, but it's got to come back. Carlaw was on the run, but it's got to come back, and he's got to go over his mark. North Adelaide making another change now. Michael Armfield preparing to come on. Just who's coming off? The kick towards centre wing. Kim Klomp in front. Taken off hands by Andrew Jarman. Daryl Hart is on the end of that handball. He's put it deep into the pocket looking for Parsons. The big fella's got it. In front. Oh no! He's paid it the other way. I can't believe it. Cruz is off. He got caught in the finish and they're going to lose it, I think. Yes, they have. To Poyton, to Arnold. Goes short. This could be it. Dietrich in front of Duthie. Oh, the umpire made a bad mistake. But the Bays couldn't capitalise on it. North Adelaide have got it back, and Dietrich out in front of Duthie takes mark number 4. Stephen Riley went off. Armfield's on. This could just about sew it up for the Roosters. The Bays preparing to make a change as well. It's Wayne Stringer. Action with Dietrich directly in front. He hasn't kicked well, but he's probably sewn the game up with that one. He's booted 2 now. North have gone 3 clear. They're 13-12 to the Bays 11-6.
And in fact, North went 4 clear to win the game by 24 points and to go straight into the grand final for the second successive year. Poyton got 4, Hart and Dietrich 3 each for the Roosters, and Andrew Jarman booted 2. Seebohm got 5 for the Tigers, and Marshall booted 2. And after the game, David Darcy put this question: is North invincible? To Graham Corns.
Well, I don't think they're unbeatable. Well, no team's unbeatable, but we saw a few things today that we can probably work on, and we just allowed a couple of their players to have too much use of the ball, unfortunately, and on the other hand, we just wasted our opportunities. Going forward, we over-finessed and went too short and didn't use the ball anywhere near well enough.
Michael, 1 to go. It's the biggest one of the season. You didn't win it last year. How confident are you this year?
Well, we finished 3 games clear at the end of the minor round, and for 2 years now we've proved ourselves to be the best team in minor round competition. Well, we've got a job to do as far as proving when it counts that we're the best team, and I guess we're reasonably confident now.
Who do you think you'll play in the final?
I don't care.
I don't care. Who cares? As long as you win. But that's a good point that NUNAN made for 2 years in a row, minor premiers. Or were they? No, they weren't minor premiers last year. I think Glenelg were. Were they? I'm getting messages in my earbag here. They were. So 2 years in a row, they're minor premiers. Fortunately, I've got some support here, otherwise I'd be in big trouble. But finals matches, they have had problems. Last year, beaten twice by Glenelg in finals, and they, in fact, won one. That was against West Adelaide in the preliminary final. But when the game started today, they looked like they had finals jitters. There were players, very experienced players, who were kicking off the side of their boots. They couldn't find the goals. Very little method. Not much happening ahead of centre. Their defence worked reasonably well for them. The Bays got a couple of lucky goals early. North Adelaide looked in a lot of trouble. They gradually got into it. Poyton was a good player, kicked a couple of goals in the first half for them. And then I thought that Redden onto the ball in the second half, or late in the second quarter, that really worked for them because he started to get some telling touches. And then the running players, the Jarman brothers, Anthropus was a good player, Hart was a very good player. They started to drag North into the game. And once they smelt victory, they were very, very hard to knock off course. And North Adelaide, in perhaps a lacklustre final today, were very, very good. And I think there's a lot of people out there hoping, like hell, that Woodville is going to win tomorrow and perhaps work its way into the grand final. But don't hold your breath, because there's a lot of football to play yet before Woodville is going to play in its first grand final. It might happen. Fairy tales do come true, but to beat Port Adelaide and then Glenelg, that's a very, very a big ask of any side. So tomorrow's the important one. Can Woodville get over Port Adelaide? We'll know tomorrow. It'll certainly be a great first semi-final. So don't forget, World of Sport tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Graham Corns and David Tiller. They will in fact be on the World of Sport show. Don't miss that at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And just another mention of Hayden Bunton. Fantastic 69-point victory in Western Australia today, which is great news for Hayden Bunton, one of our favourite sons. We'll take a break now, more after the break.